Hi,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm looking forward to our event that's coming up soon.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I thought it'd be a good idea to sort of introduce ourselves, really, and tell people who we are and what we sort of do outside of these events, and why we decided to work together. So, why don't we start with you giving us a bit of a potted history of Happy Chakras Holistics and how you got involved in doing that?
Well, I'd say that I've always been interested in complementary therapies, just tinkering about with essential oils and things like that. My background is in community work. I've worked for two national charities working with people with learning disability and young people, 16 to 25-year-olds. Then I went into academia, doing a doctorate and teaching for a while. I realised I needed to get out of that environment. It wasn't doing my health any good. So I retrained at college in complementary therapies. I've done yoga for over 30 years, and I trained as a meditation and yoga teacher. Um, and basically, I just love what I do. I love supporting people in their well-being. I know it works. I know firsthand. I've experienced all these treatments that I do, and obviously the yoga and meditation. So I love sharing the techniques and practices that I offer.
I know that as a as a practitioner, you follow quite a lot of different disciplines. You've got, Reiki, yoga, meditation. What is it that connects all of those things
Yeah.
I for you that means that you find that they work together?
Yeah, and for me, the common theme running through all these things is, well, one, well-being, but also it's ways of working with energy. Doing yoga is working with energy and
Yeah.
bringing energy into the body, working with the energy around the body. The meditation, same thing. Energy runs through everything. The aromatherapy, essential oils have their own energies, their individual energies. But that I'd have to go into that a lot deeper to explain. But each
Mm.
essential oil has its own unique vibration, and that affects the vibrations within the body.
I think that's really.
So energy, and the fact that it all contributes to well-being. It's about people taking control of what they can do themselves for their health and well-being.
I think that's really interesting because one of the things that I'm attracted to as a coach is something that a lot of coaches don't really talk about, which is that energy aspect, that everything we do relates to the energy that we sort of put out into the world and sort of take in from the
Yeah,
world, and
absolutely.
and it can really have positive or negative effects on how you live your life. And so as a coach, I find that really important as well, and that's one of the reasons why I think, when we sort of reconnected, and I mentioned yesterday in the little video that I did that we've known each other for, a lot of years, and
Mm.
we lost touch for a little bit, and that was kind of down to me. But we've sort of reconnected and found this common thread, which we're
Mm-hmm.
now able to sort of put into this event.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so, so talking about that event, I know I've sort of alluded to the fact that I'm a coach and an NLP sort of expert, and that's what I'm going to be bringing to that event. What is it you're going to be? People can expect from you during
Okay,
that
well,
event.
it'll all depend on who who is coming to the event. So I will work with those who are present. I will work with their abilities, their physical abilities. So it's not going to be acrobatic yoga or contorting the body in any way. I love doing restorative yoga. I draw on lots of different types of yoga styles. Drew yoga, I really enjoy. My main yoga teacher taught a lot of Drew yoga. And that's about connecting with the earth and with energy, working with the energy. It's quite slow mindful movements in Drew yoga, or some of them are. The restorative yoga, it works to help to heal the body. So when we rest, because we're always on the go, we're taught to be on the go all the time. And when we rest, it's not something to feel guilty about, even though we quite often do feel guilty that we're just doing nothing. We're just lying there doing nothing. Well, actually, we need to do that sometimes, because when we do rest properly, that is when the body repairs. And that's why it's called restorative yoga. So I do restorative yoga. I also do chair yoga. So depending on who's there on the day, I could incorporate some chair yoga as well. I'm going to do releasing practices, getting rid of unwanted energy, unwanted thoughts, behavior patterns, and about grounding, because especially over the last year, people are feeling unsure about what's happening, even now when there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel. Some people are still anxious about, is that going to happen? Are we going to move back to some kind of normality? So I'm going to incorporate some grounding practices, which will help us to remain calm, really. So fitting in with our inner calm. So it's about connecting with your inner calm, which is there all the time for you to connect to. It's just finding techniques that help you to connect to that. So when all around you is hectic, you can tap into that inner calm at any point. I can show you a restorative yoga posture that you could actually do at home. Am I okay doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Right, okay. So you just use a few blankets folded for the head, one for the head, folded. Get a bed pillow, use that as a bolster under your knees so you're nice and comfy. Get another blanket, I'll use that one because it's a bit longer. Roll that, place your ankles on that, so your joints, your knees and your ankles are supported. You can pull that blanket out a little so that it's helping to support the shoulders and the head. And then you can have one blanket either side of the arms. And the important thing here is that your joints are supported. So your elbow and your wrist is supported by a blanket, or you could use towels, rolled or folded towels. So blanket under the ankles, pillow under the knees, blanket supporting the shoulders and the head, and then one blanket either side supporting the wrist and the elbow. And then take a great big blanket and cover yourself up. Lift the head slightly, tuck in the chin and place the neck down to keep the spine long. And then there you go. But make sure you've got some nice music beforehand. dim the lights and relax. And that's that. So that is an example of a restorative yoga posture.
Right.
That will be in Shavasana, where what's called Shavasana. And that's a relaxation pose. And I would end the session, our day-long session, with a restorative yoga class. And that will come right at the end where you lie down, and I'll guide you through meditation that will take you deeper. Yeah, and that'll help you to restore your body, to repair and take to that calm place, which is your true self, that calmness. That's
brilliant. I think that's looks like a great technique. I'm certainly going to try it myself, and I think it's going to fit so well with what we're trying to do with this day, which is helping people to reconnect with that inner calm, and teaching people techniques that they can use every day in order to sort of step back from the everyday stresses of life, I guess, and as you said, start to retake control over what their experience of life is. And I think that that's one of the exciting things about what we're doing with this event, is we're taking different techniques from different areas and we're bringing them all into a place where they haven't necessarily been together before, certainly not in this way, and really providing people with a new way of looking at things and saying, look, if you come to this day with an open mind and with the idea that you're going to learn, you might experience some things that you've never experienced before as far as techniques or disciplines or whatever. But if you walk away with one or two new things, new ways of looking at life, or new ways of thinking that can benefit you moving forward, then we've done our job, I think. And that's a great example. That demonstration was brilliant, and I urge people who are watching this now to go and give it a try before you sign up, because one of the things about when you see a technique on a screen, it's not the same as trying it out and getting involved. So go and give it a try. I think, and you're absolutely right, Michelle, the relaxation and sort of taking that breath is not encouraged in our sort of everyday lives, and it's to the detriment of all of us.
Yes, because we're working on adrenaline all the time. So whatever type of work you do, you're on the go. You get up in the morning, people often rush breakfast, go on a school run, or join the commute when outside lockdown, of course. And then you're on that continual cycle all day of doing, and there's no time to just be who you are. You're just doing, and we're taking in a lot of mental stimulation, even watching the TV or hearing traffic noise. All these things are stimulating us mentally, but we need time afterwards to just come out of it. We need that peace and quiet, even if it's 5 minutes in the evening before you go to bed. If you can make that time for yourselves, it will make a massive difference to your ability to cope with daily stresses. Stress is part of daily life, but it's how we cope with stress that makes the difference.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic, Michelle. I think you've given us a lot to think about, and again, you've given us a technique that people can use right now. And if people wanted to contact you outside of the event or in the run up to the event, how would people do that?
They can either go to my website, which is happy-chakras.com, or they can find me on Facebook, Happy Chakras Holistics.
Okay, that's fantastic. And of course, if people are interested in the event, there's also our website as well, which is www.innercalm.uk.